Tonight is quite important because we're gonna talk about very serious topic. That actually some for some of you might be funny, but as a matter of fact, is we're talking about lifetime changes and decisions.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
going to show you some funny things, but Oscar and I promise we're going to try not to laugh.
No, this is not actually to laugh.
It's not
It's not.
because it's such a. Although some of the stuff is because we have them in categories.
Yeah.
The nuisance ones we can
Yeah,
laugh at.
that one.
Because
Yeah.
you shouldn't follow those. But you guys know what social media has become in the last 10 years, and there's proper ways to use it, and we're going to show you. We are going to call out some groups here tonight, and we're going to recommend some because we kind of get tired of some of the groups and ourselves, and we don't even participate in them anymore because they're just too toxic for us. So.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. Anyways, it's 7:01, Oscar. We can introduce ourselves. Who are we?
We are first of all retiring Panama tours. Road letter B, Oscar Peña. Myself, I am from Colombia, Cali, Colombia. I moved out of there in 2006 to Costa Rica first for about 3 years and a half until 2009. I worked mainly in a hotel industry in a five-star small luxury resorts. I got highly trained by hospitality customer service. I got to learn my second language. Very grateful for that. And then in 2009, I just saw opportunity to come back to Panama because when I went to Costa Rica, I went through Panama, and Panama always was stuck in the back of my head. So I started got here in 2009. In 2010, I saw an opportunity to see how many aspects they weren't able to speak their language Spanish and also didn't knew about much about the Latin American culture. And since my previous experience, I got to deal, not to deal, to work with and for many North Americans, and I understood the needs and expectations. Therefore, I was able to start providing a service because I saw that like an opportunity, not just for me, but also for the people that were struggling. I thought if that was complicated for me, who speak full Spanish, and I'm next door neighbor country, which we're not that different in culture, speaking wise. How is for somebody who is from nowhere close by, who doesn't speak the language? That's the thrive. That was who really that was makes me decide that I can maybe provide something and caring about the people making the big move. So that's how I started initially with Mucho Gusto Panama, and then I got to meet my brother. He's also like my dad in many ways, and yeah, so that's how we start all this partnership, and also later on got to meet my beautiful wife Megan, which is my or manager of operations. So this is a very beautiful family business. So this is who I am, and I'm the tour. I am your tour guide. I am your driver. I'm your bodyguard. I am your interpreter. I am everything. I'm jack for all the trades. If you need to also make a margarita, nobody can make it. I can make it. Essential things.
Essential stuff. Can I get a margarita?
No, right now we're working.
Okay, it's all right. We are working. My name is Rod Larrabee from Vancouver, Canada. I moved here 11 years ago, and I did it the wrong way. There wasn't a lot of Facebook groups. Actually, they didn't exist 11 years ago. I watched some YouTube videos. That was, learned a lot from there. And luckily, I made the right choice in the country, just out of luck. But I made some wrong choices when I arrived on who I was dealing with and stuff. And I got in trouble right away. I was less than 3 months into it, and I had a vehicle that didn't have my name on the title. And I was about to give a lawyer a whack of cash to start a visa operation. And in comes my hero, Mr. Oscar Pena. We met 3 months into my tenure here because he was referred to me from all the business owners in Boquete of somebody that could help me get out of my situation, which he did. He solved that for me. And within a year, we were in business together, and we started helping expats. We started in local tourism, but always we had a retail spot, and people would walk in all the time and, do you know a good lawyer? Or I'm having problems with this. I don't know how to do this. And that really evolved what we have today. So over those years, 10 years for me, 12 years for Oscar. We have the experience of helping hundreds and
Sorry.
hundreds.
It's gonna be 14 for me now.
Okay.
14 years.
Yeah. You're getting older too, aren't you?
No,
Must mean you're almost 50.
the ID might be, but I'm not.
Okay. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that we have helped through everything from getting immigration, moving stuff here, bringing pets here, buying cars, getting driver's license, and like the list goes on. So that's what we do. About 4 years ago, actually before the pandemic in 2018, we launched a group tour business, and we do small tours, maximum 12 people once a month. And the other weeks of the month, we just take off and party. Like we don't do anything.
Yeah, I party driving and
We don't.
looking for cars.
We help people we help our guests that have come here find good places to live. We help them move their stuff here. We do Q&As like this that we just are going to answer your questions. So that's it.
That's it.
All right.
Just like
So
that.
we're going to start tonight. Is a little different. We've done a presentation, and tonight the focus, and I ask you to save your questions until the Q&A mode. Now, the focus of this Q&A, I can never find the button here, they move it, is you're researching coming to Panama. Either you're researching coming to Panama or you ended up here and you still don't have all the stuff done and you're going to look at Facebook. Now, to those people, we might see, I've redacted all the names on here. You might see a post that's done by you. Don't take any offense by it. I'm not, but there are some things going on in Facebook that, we really got to be careful about. And the way you use it to get the information is important. It's 4 major things. Use your common sense. Don't leave that back in North America or Europe. Bring it with you.
Yeah. Common sense.
Really, common sense.
It's
Think
really...
back to when there wasn't social media in the 1980s and 90s when you were going to buy something that you saw in a newspaper classified. You wouldn't meet that person. You wouldn't give that person your address and tell them to come over to your house at night. You wouldn't meet them in a back alley. Well, it depends on what you're buying, I guess. Okay. So use your common sense. We stress this on Facebook. Ignore all private messages from people you don't know. If you do that, you're going to increase your safety online by 10-fold. 9 out of 10 scams happen through a private message because these people can't post what they're trying to post publicly because they're going to get caught. And this happens for people who are looking for a place to live or looking for property or looking for a lawyer online. Don't even answer the private messages.
Yeah.
If somebody says in a post, I sent you a PM, just reply. I'm sorry, I don't accept PMs from people I don't know. Could you please answer the question that I posted here for all to see? And if they don't, then they're probably, you don't want to deal with them anyways. If it's too good to be true.
So a lot of times it is.
A lot of times it is.
A lot of times.
Yeah, 2,000 square foot apartment on Balboa for $600 a month. Ooh. Send me your deposit because it's going to go fast.
And not just go with the properties, it goes with many things, even vehicles. Like I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I know my thing. I know how to look for it when I'm looking for a car. And I've seen listings for clients that look at this, such a good deal. You look at this car because it's so affordable, it's perfect, it's everything I've been looking for. I looked till the inspection, and I guess I'm not an expert, but I work in a mechanic garage for literally Greece was Play-Doh for me, to give you an idea what I used to do in Colombia with my family business. So I found out the car within 5 minutes. I found out the car was a total, and it was imported from the States. So there's a lot of things that why you should be a little mischievous about really good deals. You really got to be careful of that.
There was Immigration Panama posted on their website, I think it was February, that beware because there's people going around saying they're doing immigration visas for $1,000, and they weren't actually Panamanian lawyers. They were people from outside of the country. You don't know. You can check. If you see a corporate page that's posting something great, they're posting a container, a 40-foot container for $1,000. They're posting immigration for $500. Click on that page, look through all the details of it, find out how old it is, find out where the owners of the page live. If it's Kenya or Russia or something, chances are you have a spam going on. And there was a container company selling containers that people always want a 40 or 20-foot container for a shed for their yard. And they were selling these
Yeah.
things, taking deposits this year, taking thousands of dollars.
But not even that. It's not about if it's gonna show if it's from Kenya or it could be even Panama.
Mhm.
But it won't show much details. It won't show the private information until you keep
Yeah,
following.
no history. This page was created last week.
Yeah,
Stuff
so
like that. Watch
lo-
for stuff like that.
a lot of scammers these days. So use the common sense for that.
Yeah, and a big one, cheaper is not always better. Don't go if you're looking for the cheapest immigration attorney. I say thank you, because the people who have those are the people online asking, "How do I get my background check done?" Because you know what, the immigration lawyer works by themselves. They have no staff, and they probably don't know the answer to your question. So cheaper is not always better.
Yeah, you want affordable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that is, you always have to remember, like people sometimes say, I want something cheap. You don't want cheap, you want affordable. Like, we're affordable.
Mm-hmm.
We are affordable.
Yeah.
That's the difference between affordable and cheap.
Exactly. And a lot of people, they quote you prices that aren't real. People will say, "What did you pay for immigration?" "Oh, my lawyer charged me $1,500. Well, that's what the lawyer charged. Well, there's government fees, there's stamps, there's translations, there's um, um, what do you call it? The stamp that lets you go back and forth. There's a bunch of little fees that will add up to $300-400 a person after your lawyer's fee. So So usually the ones that I answered 2,000, 2,500, they're including all the fees. So you're going to pay it all anyways. Anyways, we're going to move to again, guys. And after we do this short presentation, we're going to ask us the questions you've asked online and you're convinced you don't still have the answer for. We have like the 25 years experience, and there's really not a question we haven't asked yet. Try to stump us, please. But even if we don't know, we'll get you the answer by tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because we have enough context to get.
Yeah. The unique thing is, we don't work based off our ego. It's about caring about our people. Because when you're trying to move to a different or foreign country, I can imagine the stress. I remember just myself, going to move somewhere else. And that was a stress, and I have nothing, possessions, no house to sell, nothing. It was a stress, and I can't even comprehend what it is for some of you trying to do all that stuff. And that's why we do care immensely about it.
Hey guys, don't ask questions yet. I see some questions. Just wait until I turn on the Q&A mode. That way we can display the question to everyone so people actually know what we're answering. But the ones that are in the chat right now, I can convert to questions later. That is fine. Now, the dangers. I didn't like that word. I changed that word 6 times during this presentation. I went back to dangers because I'm going to tell you some stories in the next 10 minutes or so that will show you that it can be dangerous if you're not using, number one, your common sense. Now, you're going to get some totally wrong answers on social media. You're going to get nuisance answers that are just taking up precious time of your day as you're trying to plan because they're not right, they're not wrong, or you're going to post a question and get 64 answers and not one of them's the same. I'm going to show you some of these posts here. And then you're going to get your outright scammers and trolls. And I think this here is Oscar's favorite troll. This picture is the guy at the other end of the computer, guys. That's who's answering your questions that you don't know. Be wary of that. Let's move on. Now, again, if you see something you posted here, don't worry about it. We're not being critical. We're actually trying to save your day. I've redacted the names again. Now, I'm going to actually ask the question. Does anyone have experience converting a portion of savings into a lifetime annuity so you could qualify for the pensionado visa earlier than a typical retirement benefit ages? Okay. Now, did this work? Would it be the same way if you could do it over again? Immigration changes their policies in Panama every couple years, guys. Now, this question got 25 answers, of which many of them are here. Majority of them are wrong. Okay. I put this one number one because this one costed this lady a lot of money because she called me last week. She didn't call me. She called our number. I was my turn to answer. I answered, and she started talking to me about this stuff. Just over 2 years ago, Panama immigration has stopped taking a self-directed um, annuity at all. It won't. There's no chance if it's an annuity from a life insurance company or something that's part of your pension that's converted into a lifelong pension, that can be possible. But this lady is talking about a self-directed annuity. A self-directed annuity in no way can qualify you for the pensionable visa. Now she heard the wrong information on Facebook, and she signed off on not taking the lump sum and went on the lifetime payments. Then she went to the lawyer, and the lawyer said it's not good. And she found our number online, and she said, "I need a lawyer that tells me I can do this." So this lady who wanted to move to Panama probably could have moved here on a friendly nations visa with the amount of money that she converted recently into a pension, but now she doesn't have that money anymore. So she got bad information on Facebook. I don't know if it was from this particular group or not, but because she posted this question in several other groups, people love to do that, and she probably got 65 answers, and I only found one of them actually correct. And that person didn't go into details. They just said 2 years ago, it doesn't allow annuities. That should say self-directed annuities to be totally 100% to be used to qualify for pensionable visa. It must be a pension or retirement. So I started with that one. It's a huge one, folks. That person lost their dream of coming to Panama because now they don't qualify. They don't have the cash to get a friendly nations, and they won't have a pension for almost 10 years.
Well, maybe next year when they change the elections.
Yeah,
because
you never know.
There's one thing, folks. I've been here for 14 years, and I've been here since the beginning of the government in 2009. I have really learned about how it works. Every single time the government changed, it has been changed by different political parties. It means main things will not change. Details in the law, especially immigration, will change. I can only assure that next year it won't be get worse. I can only assure it will get better for some changes. Maybe we'll get back to the old friendly nation, or maybe we'll just be less drastic with investment. I don't know.
Yeah, there will be changes. And the biggest problem is people find YouTube videos and articles written 7 years ago. And annuities used to be a big thing. We used to help people get, hey, you got $500,000, let's turn that into an annuity and you got a pension. Good, you're in. Can't do it anymore, folks. So anyways, now this question's so common. People move here, they don't realize, and this question goes more in depth than the answer. They don't realize that Panama and the U.S. banking system aren't linked together whatever, besides an Interact ATM withdrawal of $250. The banks are not like you can't move money between your Bank of America and your Banismo without using an international SWIFT wire transfer. And they say, what is the best way? There is only one way to transfer money from a U.S. bank to a Panama bank is through international SWIFT wire directly or through an intermediate party like TransferWise or OFX in Canada. And I highly recommend using the intermediate party because they have less fees and for Canadians, better rates. Now, you get a multitude of answers. Somebody answered wire transfer, which is correct. Depends on the amount, and the bank will charge a few hundred. Better to send to a relative or friend. You don't need an answer like that. Someone says CheckWise. I don't know what that is. And then other people talking about. So this person never really. There's no definitive answer here. They don't know what the right answer is. So was it worth them even posting, or are they going to believe that this person, the wire transfer which is the right answer. So I'm showing you they got the right answer, but do they know it's the right answer? We don't know. But you see a lot of questions, and daily that question gets put out there. I don't know why I can't move that, you guys. Now, I apologize, this got blurry. Okay, this is one of those questions that never ever should be asked on Facebook. This is a person that is a Canadian who has a pension, but also works online, wants to move to Panama, and wants to know their tax obligations. Don't answer that on Facebook. That's all we can say. Don't answer that on Facebook. Get yourself a tax professional
It's
to
not
answer that.
public. It's not a public question.
No, because if you read the 6 answers, they're all different, and these people just don't know. Like the person who's doing it. Well, I'm doing it this way. It seems to work.
You know what is funny? Some of those questions are the people that watch also YouTube videos. Well, I know it's all there in YouTube.
Yeah, they're getting the answer.
Became an expert in taxes on 15-minute YouTube video.
Yeah, that's funny. So
that's another source of misinformation. Not all the time, because I would say is social media, including YouTube, it's experiences.
Yeah. But YouTube's bad because it's really hard to find the date of the video on YouTube unless you really search for it.
True that.
And there's a lot of old information out there. So don't ask, protect yourself, folks. Don't when we have tour guests, we meet financial experts, and we have Canadian experts, tax experts, and U.S. experts that are in our information that goes home with our guests. They have that phone call. They get their hour free consult with them, so they can make the decision on what they're going to do in coming to Panama. We can advise you once you're here in Panama tax law, because we've done it all. We've had businesses, we've been employees, we've done we know the laws here, and we have accountants and CPAs here that can assist us in those laws. But what you have to do to keep yourself legal in your home country, don't ask that in a Panama Facebook group. Okay, now this is a thing. Brand new people. The person that I've highlighted their post here, I hope you're not on the call, but it doesn't matter. I'm saying this no matter what. This person has been in the country about a month, and I've been watching them all over social media. They just received their temporary residency card, and they're one of the number one contributors in most of the Panama Facebook groups. It's like they live there, giving advice on how to move to Panama. Now, this is a very good question here. This is the type of question you can ask on Facebook. This is a good friend of ours asked this question in a Volketti group. This is Leslie. Time for her to renew her cedula. Surprised she didn't call us. Leslie, if you're on the call, you could have phoned Oscar and I, but no, she wants to renew her really quick. But anyways, the gentleman says, I thought the cedula was a lifetime. Well, he doesn't have a cedula. He thinks his permanent residency card is called a cedula. A cedula is a national ID that you get after you're done the permanent residency visa.
And it's called the E-cedula.
Yeah, and for foreigners, it's an E-cedula, and E stands for
extranjero, meaning foreigner.
Mm-hmm. And so he's asking all these questions, which shows that he has really no idea. And he should not be answering these questions yet on Facebook groups to new people. He might, there's so many answers I've seen that are just wrong. I messaged some of the group owners, hey, this guy's, giving really bad advice here. But, so be careful of new people. If you see them, they have a little hand beside their name, newbie, it says. Don't take advice from brand new people on Facebook. Okay. Now, this is another finance question. I'm using TransferWise for the first time, Canada. How do I find the SWIFT account? Directly, people, I put the X's by the wrong answers, 100% wrong answers. Now, this is kind of a nuisance thing, but it's also someone could be sending $10,000 and losing it for 2 weeks because they they're not being told how to properly send the money. Now, this person here, what's his name? I can see it underneath. Rod. Oh no, that's me. Uh, gave the right answer. He sent them directly on Wise's site. They actually show you what all the Swift codes are and what they are. So I know the answer to that. So I helped the guy out. And you see, we carry on our conversation. And I sent him to all the instructions so he can now safely send his money from his Wise account to his Panama bank. Following other instructions, he would have failed. And I know what happens when you fail on a Wise account. The money's tied up for days. So, danger. We're almost done these wrong answers stuff. Simple things. You think this would be a simple thing. 24 answers. How do I call a number in Panama from my cell phone? My cell phone is a U.S. Verizon service. So he's here from the U.S. on Verizon roaming. There's 24 answers with one of them correct. That one. The highlighted one. It could be the 7th or the 8 digit. You might be phoning a local business and it's only going to have 7. Landlines in Panama have 7 digits. Cell phones have 8. So I don't know. I went back here and I don't know if he ever got his, was able to make his call. But like to just, this is a nuisance. And I call them nuisance answers. 24 answers and he doesn't know which one's right. There's a whole bunch of people say, WhatsApp. Well, WhatsApp is not a phone. The person at the other end, and if you read the thread, he's actually trying to phone a 7-digit bank. So there's not going to have WhatsApp. So he needed the right answer, and hopefully he found it. So tons of nuisance posts that are just going to waste your time, folks. I've seen a few people get in trouble for taking advice on this one. They're looking to hire a driver to drive from Panama City Tocuman Airport to be picked up at the airport and go to Boquete. It's a 7.5-hour trip, folks, 475 kilometers.
That's for each way.
Each way.
Because the driver mostly is going to be in Panama City or Chiriquí.
It's an 18-hour day for a driver, including their lunches. And almost 1,000 kilometers on their vehicle. And the answers are, you can Uber it for $40. Do you think that's true? No.
That person doesn't even know where is Boquete.
No, they have no idea what they're talking about. And then people are randomly recommending. The problem is in this thread, I didn't see the same person recommended more than once, so that makes you a little bit nervous. If somebody's recommended 10 times in the same thread, you've got a pretty solid recommendation there. I would reach out.
Not 10, but at least, depends how many answers. But it's at least over 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, this one has like 50 answers on it, Oscar.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
And then it gets into, on the same thread. Remember, this thread is about hiring a private driver from Panama City to Boquete. The answer is, can anyone recommend a good international shipping company to move a 40-foot? So the entire thread switches over to shipping containers. Don't waste your time, folks. You got to get
confusing.
You need some experts to move here. That's the advice we're going to give you. You do need some experts, and you're not going to find them all on Facebook. If our guests need a ride from Panama City, how many people can we give them? Half a dozen?
Yep.
And I know they're all. We know they're 100% reliable. If one person doesn't show up, we'll have a backup in place. There'll be a fair price, and you'll get there in a safe, secure car. So,
anybody will.
This is another one. I'm not going to go through this one, but this is an example. It's someone from Washington State that is moving here, and they want to keep their residency in Washington State. They want to keep their driver's license and their right to vote in Washington State elections. They got 46 answers. I'm going to guess the one that was right is our friend, Oscar, Megan, and my friend Dave from Washington State, because he's done it before. Mm-hmm. But that person doesn't know that Dave has the right answer here, because there's so many answers and they're not the same. They're all telling this guy to do something different. And the worst part is these profiles stay how long sometimes? Like they grow from 1 to 50 answers over days.
Yes. It gets very confusing.
If John Doe, the poster, goes, oh, here's an answer, I'm going to do that. Well, that's not using common sense, John Doe. Don't take that answer. Like, wait until you get all your answers.
Bad John Doe.
Yeah. There are some toxic groups. One of the big ones in Panama City, and I'll probably get kicked out of it. Well, they haven't kicked me out yet. It's called Expats in Panama. They have several. They have active, non-active, unleashed. People really are rude to people sometimes. It's like a bunch. It's really Panama City centric. Shouldn't be, if you talk about the rest of the country, they still talk about Panama City. This poster wants a beach, water like Hawaii and Florida near a major city. Well, you can say, be polite and say Panama really doesn't have that. This is what Panama has. But people are telling them go to Hawaii or Florida. Like they're just being outright rude. They're go to Greece, Spain, Morocco, Italy.
Actually, Panama does have beaches like Hawaii or Florida,
Yeah.
folks. It's just people don't know, and the people that give these rude answers don't even know. From 30, 60 minutes, yeah, you can have crystal clear waters in Colon area.
Oh, I had to block this whole one out because it was actually vulgar. So I reported the post, but these the people who run this site don't really answer my reports anyways. They don't do anything about it. So be careful about this. If you see stuff like this, locals are being rude to people asking questions. There's nothing wrong with the questions. If like people think Caribbean when they think of Panama, don't they?
What, Caribbean?
Yeah, people think blue waters, like people who have never been here, never heard of Panama.
Well, yeah, people have the misconception of Panama in some ways, but Panama is such a gorgeous country because we have the crystal blue waters of the Pacific.
Mhm.
Not everywhere, but we have them.
Yeah.
We have the crystal, like what is it called? They call it like a green aquamarine, the Caribbean side. We do have those too. It's just we have the waters. That doesn't mean the amenities in the places or the infrastructure is gonna be aligned with that.
Yeah.
Like in the Colón province, you have Portobelo, you have Isla Grande, you have Bocas del Toro, pristine, beautiful Caribbean waters. But to live there is not going to be the same to live either like Panama City or Quete or Pedasi.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah, exactly. So these people in this expats in Panama, I find most of them are from Panama City. They've never left the city.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know this. If this person would have asked this post in expats in Boquete or in Mary Middlebrick's group, she would have gotten some decent answers.
Yes.
And then like I'm going to bring that up right now. And then if this one with a swear word or go to Hawaii and Florida would have been posted, I would have deleted it.
She definitely
would have deleted it.
I appreciate Mary because
with the kicking.
I appreciate Mary because she keeps a very clean group.
Yeah.
She calls anybody whoever's violating the rules, and she definitely also that protective from that PM messaging thing. So Mary, thank you so much. You're wonderful. You're doing an excellent job.
You can tell at the end of this call we're going to promote a group. Hey,
yes.
But this. So I told you one that stay away from. There we go. Now. Why am I bringing this up again? Because, oh my God, this is the most asked question on Facebook. People get your money here. And I can't tell you the number of phone calls I've gotten. I'm going to give you guys a tip right here. Those of you thinking of moving here, before you get in that plane to move here, go see your bank. Because there's a high chance, if you've never wired internationally before, you don't have access to that online.
Nope.
Now, I get people stuck here. They're here. And Wells Fargo, Bank of America, all these banks, and they're trying to wire money like they would send their brother or sister money back in the States, but there's no drop down for Panama. They're not authorized to. They're going to have to go into their branch. They have to do
some of it in person.
Fingerprints, the whole thing. You have since 9/11, the big one is 2008, I think it was, that they introduced the international wiring money laundering laws. You have to set yourself up before you can send yourself money here. And I've had people run out of money here and have to fly back to the States and get their banking in order because nobody told them. And no one says that in these posts.
A lot of people misconfuse the you can wire transfer. No, this is actually happening. This is a true story. People, when they comes to the banking about Panama, in their banking say, oh yeah, you can wire to Panama. They freaking don't know that it's Panama, not Panama, Florida. And that's a fact. That is a fact.
Oh, we've had people on our tour book their flight to Panama City, Florida.
Yeah. So, guys, seriously, like, you know, this what we do is not just. It's just not a job. It's a profession. What is the word that I'm looking for?
We're professional.
A vocation.
Yeah.
This is a vocation, and besides that, you know, because we care and we have learned how to do this in a way that is so done, and it will protect you and your investment. One miscalculation, one wrong decision, screw your plans or even your investment. I don't know. It is very serious stuff.
When we do private tours, we do group tours, we do one-on-ones here in Boquete, in Cherokee. But when one of our past clients is moving here, the three of us, Megan's sitting next to us with the baby, cheering Oscar and I on here, and giving us tips and giving us faces when we're saying something wrong. But anyways, we get on a one-on-one Zoom with them for an hour or as long as it takes, and we go through all of this stuff. Okay, have you been to your bank yet? Have you switched over your phones yet? What stuff are you bringing? Do you got a package? Do you got the measurements for us so we can get you the best price? We do this. Our guests don't have to go on Facebook and ask these questions because they already have the answers. Now, the last one, and then we're going to get into the Q&As where you're going to ask us questions that you've asked on Facebook that haven't yet been answered for you. Scammers and trolls. Now, I'm going to go back to the number one thing. Do not accept private messages on your questions from anybody you don't know. Whatever. Don't. When they say, I sent you a PM, reply. Please post that information here. I don't accept PMs from private strangers. And if they don't post it there, you know that they don't want that online. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, look at this person. We'll be arriving on July 20th. This is everything I've showed you tonight, guys, is from the last week. We'll be arriving July 20. We're interested in mountain jungle property, high enough to be cool, at least 8 hectares of land with water, preferably creek or river, and a house. And they're looking between $200,000 and $250,000. So first of all, I would not post that on Facebook.
That's something you need to let know anybody publicly.
First thing you got, I sent you a private message. Good morning. I write to you. I write to Messenger. Good morning. Constantly. Here, good one. I make loans. See that hand? That means they're a new person. There's a little tip there. See the hand beside the guy? That means he's brand new to the group. You're going to see a lot of new people. So they're going to constantly get. Now, the person that says, I have a lot acreage in between Las Tablas and Petitsi, not really the mountain jungle they're looking for, but anyways. So
I get more than nighttime, more than
22
degrees.
But they're posting publicly at least, so they're not hiding. All these PMs you got, there's a high chance they're going to be a scam.
Folks, if you're going to buy something, don't say, first of all, your budget.
Yeah.
Never. First of all, you don't say your budget.
No.
When, let's say a simple thing as a vehicle, and I deal a lot of times with car dealerships, and I say, hey, I'm looking for this car. Oh, what is the budget? We'll talk about the budget when I see the car.
Yeah, exactly.
And what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Because if you are telling the budget, they know exactly. They say, oh, let's give them this car that is worth 20, and they say, we'll tell us 25. So if you don't give them the budget, they don't know how much I'm willing to spend or not. Same thing with the house. Same thing with property, because people are trying to fish. Oh, well, this person is willing to spend $250, and I have something kind of similar that is maybe 50 grand less than what it is the price, or maybe $100, maybe 100 grand, because people can be to that level.
And let me tell you, guys, now how the scam usually ends up. The scam's not for the full amount of the property. They're not stealing your $200,000. But there's going to be a person involved, and there's going to be a lawyer involved. And somehow, this person who has the property for sale, the owner, is probably up for sale by owner, will probably recommend, let's just use the same lawyer. And somehow, people have a brain fart and they do that. No idea why. But, anyways, they get to the process. Okay, let's write up an offer. Let's put the down payment down, and then we'll start the process of transferring title. So they put $20,000 down. They sent it to the lawyer, who is in cahoots with the owner of the property, and they never hear from them again, and phone numbers change, or they find out that there's been multiple titles issued on the property. It can be a multitude of things that end up, and it happens. Unfortunately, it happened to someone we knew in November. We weren't involved. We only found out a few months after, but so we couldn't protect them. But it does happen here in Panama, and it comes out of PMs. Scary stuff. This is a car one. I don't know if you read this post by Steffi, Oscar.
No, I don't know. Maybe I had.
A person bought a car, did this all on their own, guys. Hey, I'm going to buy a car. And by the way, what language is everything in Panama?
Spanish.
Yeah. The title, the picture, all the paperwork. And there's no, when you go into the DMV in Panama, there's no English line, folks. Sorry. There's no English spoken whatsoever. Okay. So I'm not going to read the whole thing because we don't have all night. We want to get right into Q&As right away. And
oh, by the way, Stephanie Morales is one of the most reliable brokers for vehicles.
Yes, we're gonna promote her at the end of my Anyways, so now you totally screwed my train.
Sorry.
The person bought a vehicle and he gave the money and the guy gave title, and then they all went to go get it transferred. The title was in the old owner's name.
What?
The new owner and the old owner never went to the place to do title.
Where was the old owner?
Well, they finally got a hold days later of the old owner. Right now, the guy's still doing this by himself. He's English. He's finding translators to help. The old owner wants nothing to do with it. He got the money for his car 3 years ago. So he had to hire Steffi Morales. She's in Panama City. She's got an office there. Steffi, Google her. You'll find her on Facebook.
Stefania Morales.
Stefani Morales. I don't know why I blocked her.
She's very famous on Agro Panama travel group.
But she has to go in and fix it. So this guy went to buy a car on his own. No idea of, like, I remember when I bought my first vehicle, I didn't notice my name wasn't on the title, and it was still the other guy's name. Yeah. I didn't know that, and because everything's in Spanish.
So this guy told him that was not necessary.
Yeah, he saw that there's something wrong with this.
And this guy told him, no. You can have your vehicle on your name.
Now, was this a scam? Does this fit into the scam thing? It could be, because people sell cars multiple times and they get the deposits for them and no one takes ownership. They sell deposits on rental places, very popular in Panama City.
Mm-hmm.
They put an ad up on Craigslist, which is totally anonymous, basically. And money changes hand, basically. They'll show the apartment to 6 people. They'll take deposits from them all. It's not even their apartment. It's their friends. They had a key for it.
Now, let's talk about a little bit. There has been a scandal. There was in the news, in Panama news, not long ago. There were some car dealers, places. I'm not aware of the names, but that's why you need to be aware. They got the title. People were buying cars and they got actually titles. Guess what? Those titles were falsificated. So those cars never belong to the person who purchased the vehicle.
Yeah, so you could have multiple titles and sell them.
The car has who knows owner. So the car was even stolen. This is the thing, like in Latin America, things are way different than North America. Even with the specifications of the vehicle, even the condition of the car. I saw, like, there is this good social media work that I follow, Mechanic Garage, or situations with sellers, and I have witnessed myself. They promise this car that is 2020, all brand new, like a latest model, and you gotta look it up. It was a total It was barely welded with the pieces of iron underneath. This is a true facts,
Yeah.
folks. This is a true facts. But people that don't know mechanics, they probably don't have the capability to go underneath and do the Spider-Man move and just check it out.
Spider-Man.
Seriously. And also they don't have the reliable mechanic or the reliable broker, because you need a reliable broker here in Panama. Somebody they have a lot of good reviews and what is it called, like referrals from very well-known people in Panama.
Mhm.
And cars, there is a lot of scamming with vehicles today. Not just Panama, all over Latin America, even in North America it happens, where they alterate the mileage, they alterate the condition of the car. The car could be several times hit. If you don't know about mechanics, if you don't know about all those details, please find a broker.
Find a broker to buy your first car at least.
And a
The
reliable
paperwork's
broker.
a
Yeah.
nightmare.
And a reliable broker, someone that is well known.
It took me 7 years, guys, before I started going to the DMV myself in Panama.
The first time I did it.
You did it for me for 6 years almost. Okay. Anyways, we're going to wrap up this part. Now, Oscar, Megan, and I run Expats in Boquete. So if you are anywhere in Cherokee, you want to join a good group, we delete wrong answers. We delete people who are offensive. You do not have free speech in our group. You want free speech? Start your own group. And you will be. Now, we can't guarantee someone while we're sleeping posts something really stupid and a wrong answer. Nobody can guarantee that.
Yeah.
Same as Mary Middlebrooks' group. She's got the largest group and she's Panama wide. So, so typically when you move here, you're going to join a Panama wide one, and you might join a Cornell group,
Specific
group,
ones, yeah.
Boquete group, right? But in Mary Middlebrook will not only delete your post, she'll not only delete you, she'll kick you in the butt, but and she keeps it nice and clean. But still, it's your responsibility to use your common sense on the things we talked about here today, and don't just take social media for its word. Let's look at this. You guys know what we do. We talked about it. It costs to come with us, where we'll show you the entire country and babysit you through the whole process of moving here. Costs you $2,400, $3,900 for a couple. Now, the amount of money we're going to save you moving here, typically
many thousands
can't pay for that. Little things. We've recently had someone move a 4x4x6 pellet all by themselves, cost them $4,400. We moved the second one for them for $1,200 with us doing it. We have connections with international movers around the world that we've dealt with for years. Now, this is the thing that amazed me. I found this out a few years ago. I wrote about it, put it on our blog about 3 years ago. We've been helping our clients for the last 5 years switch over to Google Voice and eliminate U.S. cell phones while keeping their number and text messaging for their banking activities. Now, you'd be shocked at how many people U.S. people and Canadians still keep their U.S. cell phone number at a cost of $50 to $70 a month, just so they can receive text messages and talk to families at home. That can be free, folks. You don't have to pay for that. There's a way to eliminate your entire U.S. cell phone bill. Panama cell phone bill is what, $32, $35?
I pay full data in unlimited calls for $41 a month.
And you have
I have international roaming
all over the place?
Nothing costs me more. I go to Colombia, and my wife just went to U.S. not long ago with the free roaming. She can do phone calls. She can use her data.
Yeah.
No extra cost. $41 a month. So $39 plus tax.
It's a saving between $600 and $900 per person. And this is the key. Now, I've written about this on my blog. There are many 60-year-old people that aren't that tech savvy. Well, if you're one of our guests, that's going to be me. I'm the tech guy. I've been a tech guy for many, many years. We're going to be on a screen share telephone, and I'll do it for you. I'll set you up on your Google Voice. We'll do the port, stuff like that. Oscar, just thousands of dollars he's saved people. We've seen people buy cars and...
Well, I actually good friends of ours. They wanted to check out this car they were about to buy, and I'm very grateful. They trust me and they hired me. Went to the city, check out this car. It was a CRV, brand new model, really good price, really good deal. Seems to be a really good deal. They were willing to pay for this car 27 grand because according to the model, it was a bargain. But I went to check out the car, and when I saw the car and I saw, guys, I'm from Cali, Colombia, so I know how to be very high skill, street smart guy, and I can read people. So this young guy comes out and says, "The car is yours?" No, yes, it's yours. Okay, young 21-year-old to own this type of vehicle. Okay, is the car has warranty because the model of the year? No, it has no warranty. Okay, so this car was imported. And he said, "Oh yeah, okay, it was important. Okay, let me just open the hood and I start looking, and I knew was something wrong with it. I started looking for everything. I started looking for the hood, and I knew there was something was missing. I got literally did this my spider remove on the floor behind the car, and the car was completely rebuilt. The chassis, that car was a total loss in US, and it probably was already just rebuilt. Well done the job. Could it work? Maybe, but if they have bought that car, they will never get that money back, ever.
Crazy. And the last thing, I already turned off the screen share. Yeah, we do pet relocation. We can save you thousands of dollars in bringing your pets here. Now, I can't tell you how many times I've been on Facebook in all the groups, the good ones and the bad ones, saving people at the last minute because they did their pet relocation wrong. Now, I don't, we're not a charity event, are we?
No, but we do a
whenever
lot
we
of
have spare
community
time, we're constantly looking and on these groups and trying to message people and save them from making mistakes. So
we even and I also have to say to Rod that many people that have made the wrong choice or wrong information with the pet relocation. He has freely, because kind of his heart, to give him the right answer and saved their butts literally. How about you?
Yeah. Okay, guys, type your questions. Now try to make it a tough one. I've asked this question on Facebook and I can't get an answer. Now I'm going back. If you already typed in the chat, you don't have to do it again because I'm just moving those in. So give us the tough ones. Okay. Good one. Yvonne. Okay, there we go. What will keep Panama from becoming a problem destination like Ecuador, Colombia, Peru, and due to protest, uprising of indigenous stewards, lower income groups, as well as adverse government action policies? Well, Panama, like in the countries you mentioned, Panama is a very stable government, has had for the last 30 years. We've had less uprising and protests in the last few years, except for one incident last August, than we've had in many years, in the 2008 to 2008 to 2012. Yeah. But it's culture. It's, like you mentioned, Ecuador, Colombia. Now, I know Argentina has some serious currency problems and stuff like that, but Ecuador and Colombia are fine places to live. And even for expats, like they're not problem destination countries at the moment.
It is just for those. It's another option for those that really are adventurous and they're not going to be intimidated by. Well, Ecuador is the one thing is easier than Colombia is the currency, but it's full Spanish. In Colombia, it is more affordable in some ways than Ecuador, but you need to deal with the currency, which is pesos. But facilities, I mean, boy, with a $1,500 monthly income, you can live really comfortably down there.
Yeah, Panama. A lot of people don't really understand. Like they're talking about the uprising of the indigenous students and lower income group. Panama has had, of all those countries you're mentioning, the most significant increase in the last 20 years of, I don't know how to say it, wealth transfer to the middle class or even to the lower class, because we've gone from a 42%, if you look at World Bank, 42% in 2000 poverty rate to an 18%. So we're not going backwards. We're moving forwards. So that's going to be my basic answer, short form answer, so we can get the questions answered before
Did it.
I didn't delete it yet.
No.
Oh, I don't like that. Change. Change. Who is this? Ellen and Dan Jampo people. Who are? Hey guys,
peeps.
tacos were great on Saturday. Sorry, I think that was just a
Beautiful to
plug
see
for
you
us.
guys.
I'll send you the $10. Oh, yeah, Louisa, isn't that true? You would be shocked how much people go for financial advice on Facebook, and we're going to give you heck for that. Don't ask financial advice. How many times can you renew your visa as a tourist? Zero. Yeah. We're going to explain that a little more, Yvonne.
So renew your tourist visa is every time you leave the country internationally from a major airport like Tocumen Airport, and you stay at least 3 days. But if for those that think and the are confused in a situation like, oh, I can reset my visa by going to Costa Rica for a weekend, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
You need to renew the visa for North Americans, especially. They can allow. They're the only ones can stay in Panama for 180 days. Only Canadians and U.S. citizens can do that. Nobody else. Everybody else has to be 90 days. Some nationalities even only 30 days, and they have to leave from Tocumen Airport. Where? I don't know. Wherever closest. Maybe it's Colombia or whatever country is the closest, and that's it. When you come back, and then okay, you reset. But you're entitled to maybe be bothered by immigration people.
See, there are laws and there's immigration procedures. The law is the actual decree says people are allowed to stay in Panama for 90 days, and U.S. and Canadian citizens can stay for 180. The immigration interpretation is you must leave for 30 days before you come back. Mm-hmm. That isn't in a decree that you have to leave for 30 days. Now, what immigration's job is strengthening the borders. Simply, that's what immigration do in every country in the world. Mm-hmm. So if you're from Venezuela, Peru, Argentina, you're going to stay here 90 days and you're going to have to leave for 30.
Yeah, Colombia too.
You come back. Yeah, mm-hmm. Colombia too. If you're from North America, you'll get away with it. Pretty well guaranteed you'll get away with it the first time. If you stay for 5.5 months, go to Miami for the weekend, come back, they're not going to question it. But they have record on the computer every time you do this and in your passport. It comes right in front of their face. So if they start seeing you do it 2-3 times, they're going to question, and they have every right to deny you entry, tell you to go home for 30 days, or even suspend you for a year or two. And they have. Now, at the border, Costa Rican border, we have seen entire families, North American families, turned away for 30 days.
Yep.
Because they've been living here without a visa, and Panama doesn't want that. So I hope that answers your question, Ivan. What are the top 10 web pages that helps expats move to? I would say the best I know of is retireandpanamatours.com. Yeah, honestly, that is us, folks. There's all types of great reading, okay? Like actual reading. But where you can fill in a form and say, I need some help or I have a question about that, that's retireandpanamatours.com. We will help you. Even if you're not coming
about it.
Even if you're not coming with us.
Yeah.
But there is International Living has some good reading. Mm-hmm. Expatra.com has got a great Panama section now.
Yeah.
Live and Invest Overseas has a good, but they want your money. So be careful there. So, like we big money.
Yeah, we want your money if you want to give us the opportunity to give our work and support our business, of course. But there's a lot of information that we have on our website that's free out there.
Oh, we have hundreds of articles, hundreds of thousands of words written.
Like tonight. You're not paying for this. You're not paying for. You're not attached to anything. You're only says in your heart if you feel it's right to use our service in the future or not.
Oh, Yvonne again. I'm planning to visit a friend to see if I like it. Can you explain the visa situation? I assume you're talking about residency visa. If you like it, you can get a pensionado visa if you have a
Investment
pension of
visa.
more than $1,000.
Yeah.
Very inexpensive. Panama has the easiest visa to get at the lowest price that I personally have seen in the world.
For
It's
pensionado.
yeah, pensionado. You got to have $1,000 pension for life, and it costs us about 2,300 for one person, 2,800 for two, and that's a one-time fee visa for life.
Mm-hmm.
Now, most of the countries you move to, whether it's Portugal, Colombia, Thailand, they're 3-year visas and that are renewable. Then you got to spend money again. Some of them turn into permanent visas, like Panama's, but Panama's permanent. Even Mexico, their permanent visa is expensive.
How much is it?
You got it. Well, you got to show. I think. Okay, please don't quote me on this, folks. You got to show almost 6 figures in the bank and have a monthly income of over $4,000 US to get a permanent one. Otherwise, you're on a temporary one that you renew every 3 years.
Yeah. Pricey over there. It's a good place to come to visit, though.
Yeah.
Gorgeous country. Love it.
Recommendation and tips on weeding through the good and bad in social media when looking for a rental. Oh, Gail, good question, Gail. Rentals, my only recommendation is there. Well, first of all, boots on the ground if you're going to be here. It's a great way. Meet the person who has the rental. Go check out your neighborhood if you're looking for something new. Otherwise, you need to find yourself a trusted rentals person.
Here is. I got a better choice. Get Airbnb, VRBO, because they're registered, they attach your credit card. You can get a refund if you don't like it.
Oh, for your first month, yeah.
Yes.
100%.
As the very first time you're coming to Panama, don't rent if you don't see the place unless you really know the person or the company you're going through. Otherwise, just get an Airbnb, get a VRBO, something reliable that is secure with your investment, and rent it for a month. Rent it for a month.
Once you see a little more, but it's worth it.
Yeah. It's worth it. In a month or 2 to 3 weeks, during that time, you do, like Rod said, boots on the ground. You start searching. There's a lot of communities, like, for example, PDC. It's all about word of mouth. And sometimes we have a saying in Colombia, the face of the saying is the ones that makes the miracle. Meaning you need to be there in person to really see the place, to really get the vibe, if you like it or not, that neighborhood, that area. So that's a very valuable one.
Yeah, I'm not ready yet. Okay. Yeah, what Oscar said.
Again, very smart guy. I know my stuff.
Rental. And if a plug again, if you went on our tour, chances are we're going to give you a lot of help in that. And some people that I know, especially the ones that moved to Cherokee, which is a third to half of people that moved to Panama, you'd be surprised, of retirees. We go looking at places for them. So sometimes you can find a place to move here because we've seen it. We know the owner. But even in the beaches area, we can help you out there.
That's technically entry into word of mouth.
Yeah, we're doing good. We're a little bit over time. We our special Q&As are only an hour long, folks. But what is a good realtor site that is reliable? First of all, to start browsing, whatever people tell you, Panama does have an MLS. Okay. If your real estate agent isn't on the MLS, you might want to ask them why. I always get in trouble with real estate agents with that. So I'm typing in the chat here now the link to the MLS. Now, this is what I said. This is for browsing, folks, to see what's out there, to see what prices are. Why did that not go? There it is. It's called MLS Acobir.
Acobir.
Is that even a Spanish word? Acobir?
Acobir, yeah. I cannot remember what it means.
Slang?
Acobir, but it's an entity. It's a government entity that regulates real estate agents. But before that, it's not about who is the most reliable real estate agent. It's about you knowing first where in Panama, if you wanted to do an investment,
Mhm.
Where is the place you feel more comfortable knowing the ups and downs? We know people. I know people personally. They come to Panama because they heard, they saw, they only came to a specific location in Panama, make an investment. In less than 6 months, they don't like the place because they didn't realize what it was. So this get around the country. Rather you do a tour or not, just get yourself that freedom to go around to different areas in the country with different type of elevations, amenities, communities, so you know what is the place you're going. If you have family, even with more reason, if you have family, if you have children, make sure are you close enough to hospitals, to schools, to all the necessities. If you have a medical condition, so before any real estate decision, get to know Panama.
Yeah. Um, what I'm going to point out here, we like people that we deal with in the big dollar stuff, the real estate, the immigration, the health insurance. We don't publicly endorse them online. You know why? They don't want us to. They don't get the referrals from social media and sites like that. When we if you're interested, I put our contact information. If you're interested, if you're in a specific area and want a realtor, because we recommend different ones throughout the country, we will do a personal introduction to you. So that real estate agent knows that hey, this referral is coming from a real source. Like these must be good people. Same as our immigration attorney, they get enough business from personal referrals. They're not on social, they don't have their staff on social media posting, faking that they're expats. And those are what trolls are. I think I missed the trolls.
We have the best
It was
deals.
so bad.
PM.
Megan cut out, I spelled troll wrong. It was
Please.
troll.
Yeah.
But anyways, a troll is somebody on Facebook that promotes another entity and they pretend to be an expat. And there's so many of them out there. And they say, hey, I want a lawyer. And they scan all these sites for lawyers. And then they post, oh, this I use this person and he was excellent. They're not even a real person, folks. They're trolls. But anyways, so if you want a contact for a real estate agent in a specific area of Panama or an immigration attorney, we haven't talked anything about healthcare or healthcare, please just use our contact form. We're not going to hide from you or say, hey, well, we might send you. Okay, we need $50 for that. No, we don't. We don't do that, guys.
Hey, you guys wanna appreciate us about what we give to you for free. Well, for those that are looking to check out Panama, they're looking to learn about Panama, give us a shot. Give us a shot to show us in person what is Panama about. And for those already here in Panama and they're needing all their services, they can maybe help you out with find the vehicle, maybe help you out to find a reliable lawyer or anything like property management. Give us a shot too.
Bring your pets here.
Bring your
We
pets.
do all that stuff. If you want, also we do private Cherokee tours all the time, anywhere from 1 to 3 days.
Or not just Cherokee, we can do it custom.
Yeah, or we do complete custom tours. Maybe you have a family and you want to go with Oscar and Megan to see the schools and have, or you want to meet with a financial advisor to buy commercial real estate. We can set that up for you. We do tours like that all the time.
Yeah.
As far as our group tours, I'm just looking right now, guys. We have 2 spots left this year. Kind of why we're not promoting them a lot. But hey, next year we got lots. So come with us next year. But 2 spots left this year, one in November for a single and one in December for a couple. So we'd love to have you or start booking January, February, March. We will be here. So I think we got through all the questions.
Yes.
Yes.
If it's something
But
we have
nobody's
missed.
left. I always watch the numbers. Okay, people are starting to leave now. I know when people are getting tired.
Well, guys,
I can't believe you talked about trolls but not Karens.
Oh, Karens. We should talk about Karens too. Yeah. We have, trust me, we have those in Panama too.
No offense to our Karens.
no offense to I know beautiful niece Karen, but no, not about the name. You know what we're talking about.
All right, guys. I turned off Q&A mode. There we go. So we want you all to have a good night. I hope you learned something tonight and stay safe out there on social media. You don't have to stop using it, but just common sense. Ignore those.
You can always trust your God, but I always say this analogy: You can read about a car,
Mhm.
get the book, and see all this information. You still don't know that damn thing about the car until you drive it.
Yep.
That's the same thing about Panama. You don't know a damn thing until you come here, see it, experience.
Good point.
That's
Good
it.
ending.
Simple as that.
I'm gonna put that in the slogan.
Yeah.
That's
So
good.
thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
We kindly appreciate your time, and I hope to see you in person for those
That would be
that.
great.
And then, hey,
And we'll see you in about
This is-
3 weeks in our big monthly general Q&A coming
exactly. This is Retiring Panama Tours. This is my beautiful wife.
Good night, everyone.
Appreciate my. Oh, you don't know it. Well, have a good night, everybody. Kindly appreciate it for your time.